Morning, mate. Nice horses.
I thought there were a load of you.
Do you remember when this was an approved school?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. St. Camilla's.
Yep.
I was, you know, these were staff houses as well.
That's right, yeah.
I served here
Did you?
4 years. All the staff have just been nicked for non-sync kids, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm here to answer what happened to the kids that didn't get nonced. Look it up on YouTube, mate. It'll be going up. Thank you. Direct in front of me, Old Screws houses. Staff that lived on unit. The one facing me on the end is Mr. McHugh's. He was an housemaster and did odd jobs round place, repairing stuff. His wife was an house mother, Mrs. McHugh. They had a son, Dominic McHugh, and a daughter, I forgot her name, it'll come to me though, Mary McHugh. I brought her son some racing pigeons back from home leave and settled them in for him. My boss, who taught me at the time, was Mr. Snedden. He taught painting and decorating. He also worked on house units on a night. I believe these houses now belong to people that work in care home and everything. But all these houses, including Mr. Snedden's, were on here. They like to keep nonsense in-house. As you know, people from here have since been arrested and charged for nonsense kids. 25, getting on for 30 years now later. We're now approaching what I remember as the actual approved school. But on looking, I think these are new buildings. These look like new buildings. In fact, I'm going to say they are new buildings. But the old church will still be here. And where the new buildings are is where all our house blocks was. So I'm still going to report on what were what. Basically, the kids that were here, some were at school, some had left school. You were here until you were 18. So like me, I came here 15-year-old. I had to stay here till I was 18. That's why you had to learn a trade. I went into painting and decorating. 4-year apprenticeship. Mr. Snedden, finest teacher I've ever had. Only had one eye. Finest sign writer I've ever come across. I've never come across one as good since. This big tree has always been here. That one smack in front now. That has always been here. And I can't see yet, but just here on the road, level with that tree, there used to be a gate where you could walk through and walk up to the house units. Oh, I don't know, these units might have just been cleaned up and done up. I'm going to walk up there anyway and go through them. It's actually a nursing home, so I don't know if I can or if I should. But I'll go down other end first and I'll come back to that. In this field here, right at the fair end, there used to be a jet. Like one of them Harriers that take off vertical, straight up. In this field, there used to be a black horse. His name was Topper. I used to feed him apples. This here, where they've gated it off now, it's changed. Here was a swing gate, so he could walk in and go straight up and out another one at top to access the units. That was for staff because they were bone idle. These units, the one directly in front, well, behind the tree, were C and D wing. There were only C wing in use. That is C and D wing. There was only C wing in use. I was in C wing. Let me have a look. They've changed them. But they've changed windows and lot, which they would do, wouldn't they? It's getting on for 30 years on now. But buildings are still where they was. Even the arches. Can you see the arches going through? Even them arches, they were still on. The right hand side, as I'm looking at them, were C wing. Left hand side were D wing. This one over here on end, that were A and B wing. And as I've said, there were an aeroplane in this field. The building with all gazebos on, smack in front, that were administration, and round back were plumbers, joiners, and things like that. Down here, when I get to end where it turns to go up, on my right hand side, as I remember, were some old fishing lakes, but we used them for canoeing and things like that on house nights. Mr. Snedden loved taking us down there, and to Leeds International Swimming Pool. The big house directly in front that I'm looking at now, up there, I'm going to go up to get with the big gates. Let me stop and see if I can zoom in. Yeah, I'll zoom in a bit. Get a better picture. There, that house with big gates there belonged to a chap called Major Connor. He was actually a major up at RAF Church Fenton. He was a nonce as well. This here, just at this side of this tree here, is where old aeroplane used to be. Harrier jump jet or whatever it was. I was never into aeroplanes. But as I've said, that is Major Connor's house. He used to have lads from unit go on pretence of cutting his lawns and everything, so he could nonce them. He'd nonce them and then they still had to cut lawn to make everything look right. I am going up here, but I want to show this bit first round here. Round this way here, because I believe if I go other way, that way, I'll get stopped before I get in. Just down here is where lakes were, if I remember right. Should be just on my right round here. And as you can see, Roman Catholic Church, where we used to have to attend every service there was, including midnight mass and everything. Together with that, not being a Catholic and having to go and say Hail Marys and God knows what, and then all the nonsense that the staff did just made me hate religion altogether. Put me set against it. Well, here, this, oh yeah, you can see it lake, but only just. I'll go over here. Are we still recording?